Hello Aries, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there is a Two of Wands. It seems like it all comes down to choice, right? Very often it does. But let's put that choice into some context, all right? Oh, and we have the Fool. All right. Interesting. Look at these. Look at these energies. I already like what's going on. And we've got some water. We've got some air. Quite a bit of air, quite a bit of water. Seems like we have a little bit of everything here. But let's go ahead and select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Waite-Smith deck. And this is just one random card that we select. And we are not going to look at it till the very end. We will put our alien friend right there on top. And hopefully at the end of the reading, that card will, tie everything together. Not tie us together. Tie the reading together. Give us the confirmation that we need. All right. Let's take a look at some of this energy again. I love having this Fool here. I think this is going to be fun. Whatever decision we're making right now, I think we have to really consider. We've got to really be smart about it. Okay, we'll get to the Fool in a second because we have air, 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 and air. We've got quite a bit of air, right? We've got some water. We've got some fire, obviously here. And then we have the major arcana. Now, the major arcana to me kind of takes the place of the earth element, right? Because we have the Hermit, that's Virgo, that's some earth energy. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter. It's kind of some earth energy. I think we could make that stretch or that leap, I guess, if you will. But let's start off with the Two of Wands, all right? I think you're somebody who is faced with a choice right now. I think that you have a lot of plans. I think you have a lot of prospects in front of you. I think there's a big choice right now that you have to make. And it feels to me like you're usually someone that makes those choices pretty readily, pretty easily. You get an idea, you get some options, and it's instant choice, no hesitation. Right? No circumspection, no debate, right? None of this kind of stuff. Usually it's quick. You just kind of, you react to things. And I think that it has usually paid off for you, but I think this time is different. I think now there's a lot more thought that needs to go into this. I can see this Fool energy right here. The Fool wants to just kind of, shoot from the hip and be spontaneous, be impulsive. I don't think that's what's being called for right now, especially we have this other air energy here. We've got the Three of Swords up here at the top too. So it seems like this prospect, I don't know if it's a business venture or if it's the possibility of a new relationship, or a new creative outlet, a new adventure, whatever it might be. Something that you have to choose to initiate. You have to choose to do it. And I think that Fool part of us wants to just jump in, right? Jump in head first, probably. And doesn't care for consequences, doesn't really think, just acts. And in this instance, we maybe don't want the Fool energy, right? We want that idea, we want that freedom, we want to just dive in. And maybe we will. Maybe we won't give it another thought, and we'll just choose to go with this, to completely immerse ourselves in this opportunity. But first, we're going to do a little thinking, right? First, we're going We're going to try to look at all of the options, all of the risks, the benefits, and we'll see how this might actually play out. We already know, right? We've got this Wheel of Fortune at the end of the path of the Serpent. This is already going to end quite well. But I think to get to this Wheel of Fortune, to maximize the benefits of this, for it really to end as well as possible, we have to consider all of this other energy, and we have to make kind of wise decisions. Okay. I guess let's deal with the Three of Swords, because it's up here, the top of the path of the dove. This is kind of our conscious concern right now. I think this is what we're really kind of thinking about. This is what's on our mind. We don't want to create a disaster. We don't want to go into something or agree to something or move forward with a business, a relationship, some plans, whatever this is pertaining to. We don't want to create a disaster. We don't want to make a mess of things, right? The threes are all about understanding, but the threes are also very creative energy. Okay. Well, in this case, we're kind of creating this air energy. We don't want to create a situation that's worse, right? And I see that also in the Eight of Cups here. And this is the position of what we don't want, our fears, worries, and concerns. I think these two cards are very much related. We don't want to ruin a good thing that we may already have, which we'll talk about in a moment. We certainly don't want to make things worse. So we could choose, with this Two of Wands, we can choose no, and then we'll just kind of stay maybe in the good place that we're in now, and in whatever circumstances we are, which I don't think are terrible, but it's not going to be as good as the Wheel of Fortune. So we have to decide if where we are right now is good enough that we might want to avoid the risk in accepting this opportunity or this new job or this new relationship or whatever. So there's a lot of debate that I think needs to happen. We don't want it. We want just the freedom. We want to act. We want to dive in. It feels like this is something really big, really special. It feels like this is almost too good to be true. This is something that we feel maybe is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If I don't take advantage now, it's going to pass me by. What do I do? What do I do? I think no. Let's go to the recent past first. Let's save the Seven of Wands for the next card. I want to talk about the Hermit. The Hermit in the recent past. I think this might be this idea that you have missed out on other opportunities in the past. That there could have been other of these kind of Two of Wands, Fool scenarios that we maybe took too long to decide on, because this is the card of kind of hunkering down, introspection, circumspection, a lot of meditation, a lot of thought, trying to discover the truth of things. And while we were busy doing that, I think maybe the past opportunities kind of flew by, right? We said at the beginning that you're very good at shooting from the hip, being impulsive, being spontaneous usually works for you. I think that's how you've kind of always rolled, except when you didn't. And those opportunities that you didn't take advantage of, I think you regret. And that could be why now you're just in this kind of fool mentality where you just want to go for it. When you just go for it, things work out. When you hesitate, that's when you miss out on things. Right? That seems to be the logic that we're dealing with here. So the Seven of Wands here. This seems pretty straightforward, but maybe not. My first impulse is that your confidence in your own promptings. Right? If you feel that this impulse to just accept this opportunity, to move forward with this, If you think that is the right choice, if that is what your intuition and your gut tells you, then it's probably the right move. Okay? But we have to be confident in our choice, which means that we can't be too up in the air about it. We can't go full hermit and, take 6 months to decide on what to do. We can't be too indecisive, which is kind of some of this air energy that we see here. We can't be too worried about, what if I take this risk and it doesn't work out, and what if I really make a mess of things? We have to be confident in our decision, and this is in the absolute middle of the entire spread, is your confidence. And it could be that this literally is the biggest thing that you've ever been asked to decide, right? Or the biggest opportunity that you've ever had. So it feels as if this is a situation that really needs a lot of forethought. And it does, but not too much, right? So I think your confidence is really going to be an important factor. If you feel that strongly about it, if we can get in touch with our hermit a little bit, find this guiding light, this inner principle, and go with it rather quickly, rather than the hermit kind of taking 6 months to, decide what they want to do, then maybe we can bypass some of this other debate, this internal struggle with this air energy, and get straight to the Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Cups down beneath everything. See, we've got a three of Swords saying, well, what if this is a complete disaster? What if I completely get my heart just ripped out, and stomped on and whatever else? What if it's really, really bad? I think this is such a big deal that the risk is very great, that the disappointment or the heartbreak or the sorrow, if it doesn't work out, would be tremendous. But underneath everything, 3 of Cups. Right? This is your desire, this is your drive, this is why this is even a question right now. Because you want this love, you want to create. See, the 3s again are about understanding. You understand what you want. You understand what your heart is telling you, what your life force, your life blood is all about. And we want to manifest that, right? 3s are about creation. It's the process of understanding that comes, just before you start putting plans into action and you start really manifesting and materializing your will, your plans, your project, your business, your relationships, your interactions, whatever we're talking about here. So this is our heart. This is deciding from the heart. This is deciding from the head. Okay. And the head is probably 9 times out of 10 going to want to say no to something if there's any risk that it could make the situation we're in now any worse. Yeah. But sometimes we have to go with our heart, and the heart is the intuition, the gut, that feeling that you get. So we have to be in touch with ourselves in order to really make this decision. And again, whatever we decide, we're going to have this 7 of Wands. We have to be confident in our decision. Confident that we're doing the right thing for us, right? Confident that we are listening to both head and heart. And we are trying not to be too impulsive. And this, honestly, the Fool could be the impulse to just run the other way. It's not necessarily your impulse to just dive head first. It could be to really just run. You'd rather jump off a cliff than move forward with this. So this really could be an impulse either way. Sometimes maybe it's up here, sometimes maybe the Fool's down here. But there is a need of some direction. There's a need of narrowing things down. And I think that brings us to the path of the Serpent now. Because we have this Prince of Swords. This is an action kind of energy. This is a figure that wants to do something. But what we're doing is thinking about it a lot. That's our activity. A lot of things. This is air on air, double air. So this is us feeling like we are doing something, but really we're just spinning our wheels. We keep turning it over in our mind over and over and over again, right? This position is your general energy, but this position is also kind of your, how you view the problem, right? And because we have this air energy and this Two of Wands, I think you're perceiving this as a lot of kind of wasted time. Like, if you sit and think about this too long, if we turn it over in our heads too much, we have air on air. So it just keeps going over and over and over again. We're not making any progress, and this opportunity is going to pass you by. So I feel like this is how you're already looking at this situation. Like, you've already spent way too much time with the kind of internal debate, you know? I feel like you would rather be decisive and take action than sit here and, you know, have a conversation, have a discussion, have a tarot reading about it. This is all time that you could be doing something, right? And this, I think, is your view. And it's not an incorrect view. Sure. We definitely don't want to go and completely withdraw. This maybe is part of this impulse. Sometimes maybe this Fool energy is saying, well, I'm just going to run and hide and just, you know, sequester myself and hibernate and not engage in this. But I think that is really kind of a fear response here that's bridging us to the Three of Swords. But what we can do then instead is try to bridge this Fool down here to what we feel in our heart. Yeah. And then we can act with confidence. We can decide with confidence. But we also need this Queen of Swords. And I think the Queen is really, it's a good way to get a handle on this air energy. Because the Prince here, this is just a lot of mental activity. Right? So much worry and thought and discussion that it's going around and around and around, and there's nothing being accomplished. We're not getting anywhere with it. But when the Queen comes in, the Queen is a little bit more calm, right? Can consolidate all of the mental activity that we see here into a more precise, more succinct understanding, a more distilled reasoning. Yeah. And there's also the connection with water here. So that kind of leads me to deduce that this Queen of Swords is very much in touch with what's underneath the surface. And this card is in your environment. So with the Queen of Swords being in this position, what is around you right now, I think what we're looking for is a sense of objectivity, right? When we are immersed in this environment, in our current situation, and in the prospects for what the future could be, when we're right in the middle of it, it's easy to just get kind of spun around in circles. So what we need is a little bit of a higher perspective. See, this is a figure that's risen above the tumult and can perceive things in a very calm and relatively objective way. And can see really the risks and the benefits. Yeah. So this is clarity. This is being able to see the environment, see your situation, your circumstances in a very clear way. Much different than this. So this could be an indication, hey, just, we don't have to go full hermit and completely run away from the situation and almost refuse to decide. We can take maybe we take 3 days to sit and calm ourselves down and try to get a different perspective, right? Try try to distill all of our thoughts and feelings, these two. Distill everything down. Get out of the chaos of here. Distill everything down with this Queen of Swords. Take 3 days before we make a decision, and then decide with confidence. Then you can decide with confidence. Because what we really don't want is this Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups, again, this is the gamble. Are your cups filling up, or are they being dumped out? Is this going to improve your life, or is this going to make your life worse, ultimately? Well, I think we're going to be surprised by the absolute miracle of this. The Wheel of Fortune energy. I mean, how could we get any better than this? You know? And we could have got a 10 or a 9 of discs, but what could be better than the Wheel of Fortune? And this is a wheel that, you know, we think we spin the wheel, right? And it could be on any number of things, right? It could be bankrupt. It could be ultimate success, fame, fortune, glory, or it could be disaster. We just don't know. That's the thing about a wheel, right? You spin it, just wait to see where it lands. The Wheel of Fortune here, being ruled by Jupiter, is a wheel that has no bad places. You know, everything on there is a jackpot. So it doesn't matter where it lands, it's going to be a jackpot. The simple fact that you're here spinning the wheel almost guarantees the success of your endeavor. But I think the success depends on you making the right choice with what's in front of you right now. Yeah. Let's see if we missed anything here. It feels fairly straightforward if we look at everything. I don't see a lot really getting in our way. I think that this, you know, with the Fool here, there is this uncertainty. You know, the Fool doesn't know what direction to go, and the more we try to figure it out with the Prince of Swords, kind of the more confused we get, the more spun around the Fool kind of gets, you know. And I see there's a split between our head and our heart here, but we're going forward into a very powerful situation, one where we kind of feel that the odds are against us. Maybe this is a pretty big gamble, pretty big risk. But the potential rewards, if we make the right choice, this is an absolute miracle. I don't know that we could get anything better than that. We can try with the mystery card. Let's see what Simon says. This is Simon, our little alien. Simon Ripley. You can call him Mork if you would like. That's his nickname. But for this, I can't think of what could be better than the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know what we're expecting with that mystery card. You know? I mean, like I said, we could get a 9 or a 10 of discs. That would be pretty fantastic. I think a 9 would be better. You know what would really prove this entire thing? To prove that miracles really indeed are real, I think we need something like an Empress. An Emperor would be good, but I think an Empress would be icing on the cake, right? I think that would be it. I don't anticipate it being that, but that's what I would like to see. Or I'd be happy with a 9 or a 10 of discs. But let's. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It is the Empress. This is proof that miracles are real. This makes me so happy because this is not just theoretical. You know, this is not just something that, well, you got the Wheel of Fortune and you spin it, but maybe there's a joke here. Right? Maybe there's some irony. Maybe there's a catch-22 that, yeah, you're spinning the wheel, you get the jackpot, but it's just like, a year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club, something like that, right? Something you don't really want. But no, we've got the Empress. So this is saying that it's going to grow and flourish and blossom, and this is going to be exactly what you need. This is the universe taking care of us. Yeah. This is everything growing into the abundance and the productivity and the success. It's not just something abstract now. It's something that's literally growing and taking form and manifesting right before us. This is the confirmation. This is the best confirmation I've ever had. I mean, I hope there's no question now. we've got the Empress, and we've got the connection with the 3 as well, because the Empress obviously is the 3rd mystery of the tarot. So I think that after 3 days of trying to get a calm perspective, get a distillation of your thoughts and feelings in order to make a confident decision, I think after 3 days you're going to get the exact confirmation that you need. So be on the lookout for any kind of Venus imagery or Empress imagery or anything that kind of represents the abundance or a cornucopia or something like that, right? Because even with the Wheel of Fortune, there's a lot of synchronicity that goes on with this card. You know, this card is perhaps even right now saying that a lot of events, right, in your life coming up are going to have an exceptional meaning for you. They're going to be very significant, and that could be little signposts along the way, little maybe billboards, telling you that you're on the right road, right? That you're on the correct highway because you got these big road signs that you're looking at. Sometimes that's how the Wheel of Fortune manifests, as these synchronicities, you know. But to get the Empress, there is no better confirmation than this. But, you know, the tarot's not going to tell you what to do, so it still comes right back down to this 2 of Wands at the very beginning and how you're going to decide about this situation. But I am so excited. I think it's going to be magical. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you would like to stick around, just click on the link up there. And that'll give you access to all of the extended readings. So you can watch the extended. I encourage you to cross-watch. Check your other placements. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you. It really is my honor, especially to bring this kind of energy to you today. So, thank you so much.